Hi everybody, it's RPG Grandma on Retake Whatever. Wheelchairs. So get your pitchforks, get your torches, because we're going to talk about wheelchairs in role-playing games. Okay, everybody screaming representation. And we needed this, and it's new. You're wrong. Everybody screaming, this is stupid and dumb, and we didn't need this. You're also wrong. So now I made everybody upset. We're just right out the door. Here's why. First of all, it's your game, your table, your rules, your setting. So as the GM can do what he wants. But hopefully the GM and the players talk. So if there is a player who wants to play somebody in a wheelchair for some reason, they can do it. Hopefully. Hopefully too, if the GM wants to have wheelchairs in their setting, they do it. Because it's your game. Also, as just a player, I think playing characters that aren't 100% perfect, aren't the best of the best, that aren't exceptional, they're exceptional, is fun. It's fun to do the exceptional stuff too, okay? But it's fun to do the full range. And it's the same thing with NPCs. Yeah, that's how you create interesting characters, is their quirks, their flaws, their challenges. It's not just all about everything that they're able to do. Sometimes it's about the things that they're not able to do. All right? Makes for a better game. So I can't say I'm against wheelchairs, because that might make for a better game in certain situations. The material that role-playing games play off of, that they mine, is full of wheelchairs. Movies, TV, radio, comic books have wheelchair characters in them. Pick your genre, it doesn't matter. Because we're playing a fantasy game, you can have wheelchairs that are completely realistic to ones that are souped up with different kinds of technology, different kinds of magic, and psionics, which really falls into magic when you think about it. So weird powers, right? Weird powers. All right. They can take all kinds of different conceivable forms. They can levitate along. They can have wheels. They can have the tracks like tanks have, right? They can hover. They can fly a little bit. So how they move around, that's even open for, depending on your setting, what you decide. They can make really good NPCs. There's more than a few moving thrones over in kung fu movies that are souped up combat wheelchairs, basically. But then you're like, okay, I get it. Not a lot of dungeons aren't set up for wheelchairs, but so what? There's people who mountain climb. Now, is it going to take longer to do everything? Is it going to be a liability in some cases? Absolutely. But I can think of settings and games that would be cool to play where you have NPCs that are in wheelchairs, or you have even a player that's in a wheelchair. I can think of how a player character could end up in a wheelchair and not be retired for at least one game, maybe more. I can think of some really good villains, all kinds of stuff. So I'm telling you, it's already happened in somebody's game. And I know I have had characters who were player characters who fought monsters who were, in fact, nothing but souped up dudes in wheelchairs. Cyborgs, souped up dudes in wheelchairs. So, the ones that can, roll along. But in real life, in behalf of the people who are thinking very practically and very tactical, would it be a good thing to be in combat in a wheelchair with a real life wheelchair? No, it would be a terrible thing. Um, and in real life, are there a lot of people who want to play characters in wheelchairs? Probably not a whole lot. So then we're getting more of the what's happening is what really is happening on the net isn't so much that these things don't already exist, that they haven't already occurred in games or in entertainment or whatever and been viable and can be made to be viable. Um, it's that people are engaging in, I don't know, some kind of culture war thing maybe. Look, part of it's psychological. A difference in the age groups of people playing role playing games and our life experiences. See, I spent time in a wheelchair. I have a bicycle that's for people who are in wheelchairs in my garage, and I'm going to tell you, I would not want to do combat in a wheelchair. It's bad. It's a bad situation to be in. Okay, if you don't believe me and you're able-bodied, please go sit down in your car, put your seatbelt on, and then ask yourself if you couldn't get up and move and couldn't get out of that position, how easy it would be to defend yourself. It's not. It is really not a good position to be in. Okay, I also know how difficult accessibility is. Just around town, I know about the ADA schmuck we have in our town who sues everybody. It's not the building's fault that it was built so long ago. It's not the poor business's fault that there's no way, even though they put everything they could possibly put in that bathroom to make it accessible, that it's actually going to be accessible. You literally cannot get the wheelchair through the door. So these are real challenges, and they could pop up in a real game. Now, to say that it's completely unrealistic to have a setting that's wheelchair capable or whatever, accessible, is also untrue, because I give you Edgar Rice Burroughs' Mars series, the planet Barsoom. All the cities are designed with ramps, with the exception of one place in that book. That whole book is not just the book, but the series of books are accidentally wheelchair accessible. So if you have your adventures in a city setting, I suggest Barsoom. If you're going to have a wheelchair, or to go look at that architecture and realize how making architecture different can be quite a fantastic thing for creating a fantasy setting. It can be fun. And he did that on purpose. He didn't. I don't think he was thinking about wheelchairs. I think he was thinking about, how do I make it different than Earth, with all the stairs and ladders and stuff. Okay. So every problem is overcome. You can overcome. Don't let limitations that you're conceiving of putting on other people create a situation where you're not creative enough. On the other hand, make sure that's what other people actually want to do. Marketing departments aren't actually doing that, because they're basically marketing people who are young and they've gone to college and they've been told over and over and over again that basically they're bad people if they're not putting out these kind of products. Whether people are going to buy them or not, that's a whole nother issue. I'm not against wheelchairs. Because I believe that they have a value in the game, and they're already in the game, in my opinion. So try to be creative. Try not to project stuff on other people, including that they're bad, because I think it's silly to have a wheelchair in a dungeon, which I'm not going to disagree that you probably shouldn't. That's not the best. Venturing in a wheelchair in a dungeon probably isn't the best scenario. Venturing in a wheelchair in the mansion, looking for the murder guy, maybe that's a good one. So I'm just saying, think about your settings. Think about really wheelchairs in disguise that are in all this media that's out there. And you may have already played an NPC or a player character that was actually already in a wheelchair and you forgot. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Peace, love, rock on.